Sandra from the NR Hour Sports Show. This is episode 750. We're joined by special guests from the Las Vegas Raiders, long snapper Trent Sieg. He recently signed a new deal, so congrats on that. We're gonna get
thank you.
No problem. We're gonna get into his career and how he got to this point. But first of all, Trent, I just want to say thank you for joining the show today. It's truly an honor. And I want to give a big shout out to our friend Blaine from the Final Whistle Show for setting this up too. So he had you on his show recently, and that was a great interview. So I just want to say thank you for joining. How are you and your family doing and during this tough situation?
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, and I'm excited to be here. My family and I are finally moving into a little bit longer term house out here in Las Vegas because as you mentioned, finally got a little bit longer deal done. So I'm going to be here with the Raiders for the next 3 years. So be nice to have a little bit of continuity moving forward and just being able to focus on football.
Yeah. So first, I want to get into your childhood and how you got interested in football. But while growing up, other than football, did you play any other sports? And who was that one player that you had as a role model growing up?
So growing up, I played football, basketball, baseball. When I got to like track and like a year into high school, or I got into track in middle school and for a year in high school. So I was a 3/4 sport athlete for a big part of my life. So football was kind of always that one love that I wanted to see myself go somewhere with, and just kind of a little extra commitment on that one. Whenever some other obligations started coming up, football was where I started to focus my time. And sorry, what was the other part of the question?
I asked you, who was that one player?
The other player. So my dad is actually from Minnesota.
Okay.
So and when I was growing up, that was the same time that Adrian Peterson was there in his prime. So that was just one of the guys I just loved to watch all the time. Like when I was playing Madden, like I'd make my guy a running back, given I never actually played running back, but Adrian Peterson was just one of those dominant forces that really got me into football, and it was awesome watching him play.
Man, Adrian Peterson's still going at it too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's wild. Never would have guessed.
Actually, before we get into more of your career, I just want to bring this up. I don't know if you're willing to talk about it, but what happened yesterday in Minnesota with all this stuff going on, and what are your reactions to this? And obviously, what can they do better in the society where we can change this? That the change of police brutality and everything else. Do you know anything we can do to change it?
I wish I could say there's a simple answer to it, and obviously there really isn't with the issues that have kind of continued to go on. Obviously terrible situation. Just we really have to work as a society to come together and just know that like we're not going to be perfect, not going to excuse anything that's happened, but we also gotta always strive to be better. I mean, it's a lot like us, like on our team, like we're not perfect in what we do, and we always got to get better. And I really hope that it wasn't grounded in racism, and I can't speak as to what is on other people's hearts and everything, but just like I said, the best way in my mind for us to all get through this is to come together as a country, as a community, and just try to focus on getting better as we can.
Mm-hmm. So now I want to ask you, so in high school, before we went to college, in high school, did the coaches obviously coaches love players that can play multiple positions. Did you get to play other positions in football before settling on long snapper?
Actually I kind of fell into being a long snapper. I was always like a tight end through like middle school and high school. I played tight end a lot. I moved around as a linebacker / defensive end as well, just kind of depending on what defense we were running that year. And those were the two positions that I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to make. This is where I'm going to try to make it to college doing. In middle school, my dad had me start long snapping. It was kind of just one of those things that he's like, or he actually kicked a little bit back in the day, and he played some Division II football in Minnesota at St. Cloud State, and he kind of just looked at me in middle school and was like, I think you should start long snapping. Like it's something that might help pay for college, and I guess he was right. So I just kind of added that to the repertoire of what I could do. And it's kind of moving on with recruiting. Long snapping was something that I was always able to put on my resume. I could say I play tight end, I play defensive end, and I long snap on top of that. So I ended up going to Colorado State as a walk-on, but they mostly recruited me as a long snapper. I played tight end for just a brief stint during my time there, but kind of realized that long snapping was my quickest way to earning a scholarship, and being a walk-on, those bills start to add up pretty quick. So started to focus on long snapping a little bit more.
But speaking of colleges, before walking on Colorado State, how many offers did you get from different schools before doing that?
So I had a couple different, I guess, offers. My only Division I offer was actually from Tulsa, and I'm grateful for that. I just didn't really have I didn't feel like Tulsa was a great fit for me at the time. I talked to a couple Ivy League schools. Dartmouth offered me to come onto their team, and just in my mind, I was going to be a professional football player, and the best way to get there was through CSU. That and CSU was like 30 minutes from where I grew up, so it was always kind of a hometown team. Really felt like it was a place I belonged. I loved the coaching staff there, and it looks like it worked out pretty well.
So what was the experience like playing at Colorado State in front of those fans and learning from the coaches and your teammates? And what was the biggest things that you learned in college?
In college, really just what I learned was just kind of the work ethic and the drive that it takes to get through everything. Yeah. Because in college, they'll try to beat you down and weed you out. Like they make sure you want to be there. And I like the coaching staff. I like playing for Coach McElwain and Coach Bobo, and they both had a slightly different approach, but they both really hit home the mental toughness side of things, and that's where I think I really grew while I was there. Is I kind of learned to deal with tough situations. They didn't always put you in the easiest spot. And on top of that, I was an engineering student at the same time, and just trying to balance football and school, and that's where that work ethic and drive and just learning how to really prioritize things in my life really came out, because I didn't really have time to be the guy going out partying all the time. And I had like no social life while I was in college. It was all homework and football, but yeah, it's just being able to prioritize what's important to me. And I think that's kind of carried over into the NFL, where I'm able to put things on the top of the list that are going to help me.
So what's it like just to be a long snapper, and how tough is it to be a long snapper? People think it's easy, but I don't think it. First, sometimes it can be hard though, being a long snapper, right?
Right. So how do I like to do? So you don't necessarily have to be athletic as a long snapper. It definitely helps, but it's more of a technical skill than athleticism. Like, you're not just because you can run fast doesn't make you a good long snapper. It doesn't make you have a good spiral back there. Really, it's just such a refined skill. I'd compare it more to golf than anything, because like you can have great athletes go out there and swing a golf club, and if you're swinging and you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where that ball's going. So it's kind of the same process, where so much of it's just a mental game and just being refined, like going out there and just trying to snap the ball harder doesn't make it better. So you really got to be able to control yourself and control what you're doing. And I also like it because I'm the specialist, that I still feel like I'm kind of the stereotypical football player a little bit more, because I actually get some contact every now and then, get a run down the field and try to cover a little bit. So get to relive my linebacker days a little bit, but it's a little bit harder when their guys are this fast. So.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like I said earlier, these teams love versatile players now in this generation. So it's good. It's good that you had that under your belt. But so obviously after college, you went undrafted. But how tough was it this spending time with your family, waiting for your name to get called and not getting drafted? But at the same time, you got picked up by a storied franchise in Baltimore.
Yeah. So draft day was the first 2 days. Obviously, knew I wasn't going like first round as a long snapper. I mean, even like second, third round. But the last day, I really wasn't expecting to get drafted, but there was still that little bit of hope, and just like sitting there and waiting. I was a nervous wreck. Like you can talk to my family, like I couldn't talk to anyone. Eventually I just had to shut the draft off just because I couldn't really handle watching it anymore. I had to just like go distract myself. But yeah, obviously still had the phone on. Baltimore called me, said they wanted to bring me in and gave me a chance to come in and get 5 games worth of film, which really, as a long snapper, that's like gold. Just being able to get preseason film. And then not only that, I was able to go in and learn under Morgan Cox, who's like a perennial Pro Bowler, like one of the gold standard guys when it comes to long snapping. And I mean, obviously they said like, if you win the job, you win the job. So I went in there with that mindset, but at the same time, I was trying to learn as much as I could from Morgan, and he was awesome, and Sam and Justin at the same time. That just learning from those 3 and just seeing how they operate as a unit, and I just think that experience was invaluable to me.
Yeah. So what was it like playing with learning from a guy like Justin Tucker, the best field goal in the game right now?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's making a run for him. So, but yeah, it was just awesome to see how he approaches the game and his mentality. I mean, there's always that stigma that kickers are a little bit weird, but I think they kind of need that, because there's just so much confidence when he goes out there to kick the ball, and you can just kind of feel it from him, and that's just something that I've kind of been tried to learn from him, is just go out there and just do your damn job and just have the utmost confidence that you put the work in to try, and you just got to trust yourself to do what you need to do. So
what do you say the things that you learned in Baltimore helped you with now in Las Vegas with the Raiders? What do you say that helped you to get your career going with the Raiders?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Kind of the way I like to tell people the story is, I kind of learned how to be a pro when I was in Baltimore from those guys, and then when I came to Las Vegas after Andrew DePola, he tore his ACL, but he was still around the building, and he helped me out. He took me under his wing, and I like to say he taught me how to snap really, like in the NFL, and how to approach the regular season. So I think those are 2 kind of different, or like Morgan was kind of more the mindset, and then Depot really helped me with just trying to figure out how to approach looks, just handle all the different ways that guys are going to come at you during the season, because the regular season's a whole different animal than the postseason. Obviously, the preseason, sorry.
Yeah, so obviously you played in Oakland, but so how hard was the transition when you guys moved to Las Vegas? But obviously, Las Vegas is a much different atmosphere and a lot more attraction. So, but how tough was it first when you left Oakland and the fans not seeing that team there anymore?
Yeah, so we're always going to miss Oakland. It's a huge part of the Raider DNA, and there's never going to be another black hole like there was there. Yeah. But yeah, moving to Las Vegas, it's been an experience for sure, especially with COVID, just because like everything's been shut down, and it's been hard to really get ingrained in the community, because like there just hasn't been as much opportunity to. Really wish we could have shared the stadium with fans this year. It's something special, and it just would have been awesome to be able to have them there, especially after that first game in there against the Saints. I remember driving out, and there were some fans out there waving their Raiders flags and everything, and I was just like, damn, that was a really fun time, or it was really cool to be a part of. But wish the nation could have been in there with us.
but never, no matter where you guys play, I think you guys have I think one of the best fan bases in the league.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. The nation travels insanely well, and that's something I didn't really realize till I got here was just no matter where we go, there's just a huge outpouring of Raiders that come in.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you though, what's it like playing underneath the coach like John Gruden and playing with players like Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs? You have Darren Waller. This guy's a stud, man. Darren
Yeah.
Waller, one of the best tight ends in the game. And
yeah, there's a lot of really special guys around the facility, and yeah, just being able to just really be a part of it, and just say I was even able to be a fly on the wall and watch Derek and Darren operate, and just watching Josh get behind his pads and run guys over. It's awesome to get to see them go out and perform, and I just help out any way I can to set them up for success. And then Coach Gruden just has such a fire when it comes to football, and he just has a drive, and it's just kind of like the fountain of youth when he's out there. He just has this unrelenting energy, and you can just feel how much he loves football, and it's just awesome to be around.
Yeah, so obviously your story is really inspiring, and how grateful are you that now you have a long-term deal with the Raiders, and the Raiders believed in you from day one since they got you, and how grateful you just have a security blanket. Now you're staying there for 3 more years.
Yes, exactly. Like you said, since I've been here, I've only been on 1-year contracts, just kind of the way it's gone. But they finally came out and got me a 3-year deal, and now I can really just settle in, really become a part of Raider Nation, and just know that I've got some time here, and I can really set up with my family and just really focus on football, not have to worry about like, well, am I going to be living in this town next year? Or where are we going to be? So it's really nice to just have some stability, and really the facility or the team is really just showing how much trust they have in me and giving me a contract for that long.
So this is a 2-part question here. So what have you been working on? Obviously with COVID still going on, but what have you been working on just to get ready for the season and to improve? And what are you guys most looking forward to as a team goals and personal goals?
So personally, working on I'm always trying to get stronger, get a little bit quicker. I've been working on my flexibility a lot personally. As a team, I think we're just overall want to just play a little bit more consistently. We showed last year we can play with anyone in the league. I mean, we beat Kansas City and took them down to the wire the second time. Like we're able to play with anyone. We just got to do it consistently. And I think that's the main point of what we need to do as a team.
And then second part, what do you most what's your personal goals? What are you most looking forward to as your
personal goals? I mean, my goals aren't too crazy. As far as what I can do for the team, I just always want to give the best snaps I can. Like, don't want to have anything that's going to mess up AJ or Daniel or get in their way of being able to do what they do. But one of the things I'm really looking forward to is hopefully being able to have fans in that stadium again, and just be able to re-engage with the gut or with the black hole and everything. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So obviously this NFL free agency has been crazy, and obviously you guys made some moves too. But are you surprised that with this a lot of movement during COVID season? Are you surprised with all this movement?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird, or it's a really weird year in that the cap number has gone down for the first time I think ever, in the Super Bowl era at least. And it's just, we knew there was going to be movement. There's always a lot of movement around free agency time as it is, and it's just hard because you have friends in the building that you kind of see come and go, but on the other side you got some new guys coming in, and it's all part of the business of football, and we know that that's what we're signing up for. But yeah, overall, not super surprised to see a lot of movement, because there is just I think there have been a few more bigger names than there typically are this year moving around, and it's just something we've all got to learn to deal with, and just got to find a way to overcome that.
So before we get to the things that you're doing off the field, I had your boy Austin Eckler on the show too. Obviously, he's coming back from injury. Obviously, you guys play in the same division. So I got to ask you this. So I asked him this question about the 17-game schedule. He said he's torn between it. So I'm going to ask you this. What are your thoughts on the 17-game season?
Honestly, I'm probably going to give you a very similar answer. I'm torn between it because I know the NFL is a business. They're trying to grow the league, always trying to find the next step to make the league bigger. Like they've been talking about being international and just this or that, and just anything they can do to, like, it's a business. They're trying to grow it. But on the other side of it is that extra game starts to add up, especially over the careers that some guys are having that are like 10, 15, 20 years. Like that extra game starts to be a lot, especially at that point in the season. Saying an extra, if the season's regularly like 4 games, adding one more is not a huge deal. But by the end of the year, or by that 16th game, people are beat up, and there's just no way around it. Like they're just the number of collisions, and just it's a lot of big body guys going full impact, and I mean, there is a limit to what the human body can do. But yeah, so just kind of torn between, like, I know it's trying to grow, or we're trying to grow the league, but also there is the human safety factor of it. And at this point, it's just something we've got to deal with. And hopefully the 17th game, it doesn't put us over that line.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But now I want to ask you about Gridiron Gaming. Obviously, you're part of it too with Austin Eckler. And how did you guys become close friends? And obviously, you guys compete each other in the same division. But what's it like seeing him involved as a great running back in the league, and also, and then you guys have a close relationship off the field with Gridiron Gaming too?
Yeah, so Austin, actually, I went to elementary through high school with Austin. So like he's one of my best friends from back then, and he's always been an awesome running back. Like I can't believe he didn't get recruited to go to a higher school or a bigger school than he did. Obviously, he's doing all right for himself still. But yeah, he's always been an awesome guy to be around. We kind of had a close-knit group of friends there that we were really into athletics, and we all just kind of pushed each other to be better and push on to make that or to try to make it on to college athletics. And I think we just were very like-minded in how we approached things. That being said, like I followed Austin through his college career. He came out 1 year before I did because I redshirted and he didn't. I watched him as a rookie with the Chargers, and just it's amazing to see how his career has grown. And I'm just couldn't be happier for him. And now he's gone on and started this Gridiron Gaming group, which is kind of just a big streaming community for professional athletes that he's trying to put together. And I really like his vision for it, to where guys that want to come in, or athletes that want to come in and start a stream, there's already a built-in community of people that we can just go in and just welcome in with open arms, and just be able to share amongst each other and just kind of grow together. And it's just awesome to be a part of. And that being said, I've also kind of joined up with another group called NACL. It's the North American Collegiate League, and they're kind of a big gaming group too. And we're just trying to put it all together and get it all to work out, and just grow together organically and just have fun while we're doing it.
So I gotta ask you this. Obviously, when you guys play against the Chargers, you guys like trash talk for fun, or what's it like just like pregame, but before the game starts? What's it like?
Usually, so our warm-up times are a little bit different. Just because like I go out super early as a specialist, kind of get out there on the field before everyone else does, and because we take up a lot of space. So I'll usually like just go give them a hug, say what's up, good luck, stay healthy, all that good stuff. And I usually send them a good-natured trash talk text or two before the game, kind of give them a warning that we have a good game plan for him. But yeah, it's always fun to go out there and watch him compete, and I like to see him do well, but there's just two games a year that I don't like to see it. So, but yeah, it's awesome it's just awesome to be able to go up against someone that I grew up with, let alone go against them twice a year.
So, what advice would you give these young kids or young athletes that are trying to get to their goals?
Really, I think it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where you just got to have priorities, and you got to make it a priority in your life. If it's important to you, you really got to separate and make time. You might have to give up something or something else along the way. You might have to, you might have to not go out one night because you got a early 5 a.m. lift the next day. I mean, if you're going to get all you can out of that lift, you got to go to bed. It just kind of comes down to how much you want it. If you want to get better at something, you got to put time into it, and there's just no other way around it.
So now we do this fun little segment on the show called the rapid fire segment. You ready for this?
Oh boy. Okay. I don't know how fast I'll be, but I'm ready.
All right. Favorite food?
Oh gosh, a steak.
Kawhi Leonard's laugh or Kevin Hart's laugh?
So Kawhi.
Do you have a nickname?
Nah, just Trent or Sieg.
Favorite memorable game that you played in?
Ooh, this one's tough. There've been a lot of those. So I've got like 2 pro ones and a college one. I don't know how rapid fire this is.
You mentioned all of them. That's fine.
So in college, it was my first year playing. We were playing against Utah State, and we hit a game-winning field goal at the end, and it ended up getting us ranked. And it's the first time CSU got ranked in like I think 15 to 17 years, somewhere around there. So that was just awesome to be a part of, especially with us like being part of, or that game-winning field goal really made a huge impact on the game. Then my one of the 2 most memorable ones in the pros is, I think it was our first win actually my rookie season against the Cleveland Browns. It was a game-winning field goal in overtime, and that was awesome. And then last year when we were playing against the Jets, and kind of Ruggs just broke open, and Derek hit him, and that was just one of those games. It's just like, man, you're really never out of it. You never know what's going to happen, and that was just one of those games that just I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about Ruggs, man. What's it like just being his teammate? And once he gets the ball, it's like over.
Oh, he's fast. Yeah. Once you see him in open field, you just know that something's going to happen. It's definitely a guy that you'd rather have on your sideline than the other.
So I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Boy.
Yeah, but I gotta ask you this. We had the longest tenured long snapper, but he's not there anymore. LP,
yeah.
And obviously we have a new one. But did he give you any advice throughout your career?
I haven't really talked to LP actually. So Coach Bisaccia, our special teams coach, he came from Dallas and worked with LP a lot, and he just kind of. So I feel like a lot of the advice I've gotten from Bisaccia is indirectly from LP. And just how he approaches things, and like it's like, oh, this is what LP would do against this look. So, I try to do that because LP is right up there with Morgan. Like you said, he's one of the longest tenured long snappers ever, and that doesn't just happen. Like he's been a great competitor and great snapper for a long time, and he's definitely one of the guys that I try to emulate my game after, even though I haven't really personally spoken with him.
What has Rich meant to you as a special teams coach?
Rich has been awesome. He's really shown that, or he's one of those coaches that really cares about the players, and you can just feel it when you talk to him. Like he's super fiery. He can get into you a little bit sometimes, but he loves the players, and you just know he's always on your side, and he's a great guy to have in your corner.
So I got to ask you this: have you went up to Coach Gruden and said, "Put me in an offense, man. I play tight end, and put me on defense too. And if John Gruden wants to get creative, he should put you in multiple situations."
Give me a couple packages. I have not. I have been told to do that on several occasions, but my Madden rating is a 24 for a reason. I would not be a great tight end at this level. I mean, if I'm wide open, I'll catch the ball, but getting wide open is going to be the difficult part. No, but that'd be absolutely insane. If I scored a touchdown, I don't even know what I would do. Like, probably just freeze up. Probably have too much adrenaline to go snap that extra point. But yeah.
What's your guys' pregame music?
Pregame, I have like a nice mixture of like hip hop and rock, and most of it's like classic rock, and then every now and then it gets a little heavier metal. But yeah, it's just nothing too crazy from me. I'm not a huge music guy.
Favorite thing to do? I mean, obviously you have the gridiron thing, but outside of that, what else do you like to do?
Yeah, like you said, I stream and interact with the community. I hang out with my wife and my dog a lot. We like to take the dog swimming, especially out here in Las Vegas where it's starting to get hot, and he's a lab, so he absolutely loves the water. But really, that's it. I'm a man of simple means. So
yeah, we have a golden doodle.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my sister's got one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what's obviously you had a great career so far, and where do you see what's it like just to be able to play the game that you love and work hard and then get your opportunity, and now you have the contract, like I said earlier, what's it like just to play the game that you love?
I've been extremely blessed to just even have this opportunity, and like you said, like it's the game that everyone grows up like this is where they want to be, and I've been fortunate enough to get to that spot, and just really gotta appreciate that I'm able to make a living doing something that I love to do. And it just means so much, especially like being around an organization like the Raiders, where so many great players have come before you. Just walking down the halls, you get to see all the pictures of everybody there. I mean, there's a huge line of specialists that have been here that have been great, like going all the way back to Ray Guy, I mean, John Kondo was here for I think like 12, 13 years. And he was a great snapper while he was here, and Leckler and Seabass, and they were one of the best units ever. And it's just awesome to kind of be the next step in that legacy for the Raiders, and really just trying to keep that rolling as long as we can.
So last couple of things here before I let you go. Do you think long snappers should be considered for the Hall of Fame more?
So I want to say yes, because I would love to see a long snapper in there. But I do understand not really doing, because we don't really have stats that kind of like show up and there's just there's just so many different ways to distinguish a good long snapper. Like some guys are like a lot more into coverage. Some guys are like way better at blocking, and then some guys are like super accurate with their snaps. And it's something that doesn't necessarily show up in the stat book. So it's just very hard to track unless you have someone on there looking at exactly what everyone wants. And that being said, coaches want different things from the snappers. Like some coaches want them to cover a little more, like I said, where, I mean, you go out as a receiver. I mean, everyone knows you're trying to put up yards and catch touchdowns, but yeah, it'd be awesome to see. But I definitely do understand the difficulty behind it.
So the last three things here, our team, we partnered up with two companies. My aunt's company, she has a company called Eplin X Cosmetics. So if your wife is interested, or her friends buying products, I'll send you the link, and promo code is NR20. We're just trying to help them promote themselves, and so we can get traffic for the show. And the other company we partnered up is called Bucking Beards. Is a male's style for the beard products. And if you guys are interested, I'll send you that. It's the same promo code, NR20.
What are you trying to say about my beard?
No, no, it's just a product thing. So
yeah, I know.
Your beard is awesome, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But yeah, so, and the other thing is that we're also part of the Hugh Jackson Foundation, obviously a former NFL coach trying to get back into coaching. We're trying to help them prevent human trafficking and making sure these kids stay safe, the community stays safe, and we're really grateful to be ambassadors for them. And I'll send you the link so you can check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you don't mind, I'd like to plug a organization that I've started working with.
Yeah.
So I recently started working with this foundation. They're called the Fletcher Foundation. And the way I found them is through, or really my wife found them, but we suffered through a miscarriage during the season.
Oh, wow.
And it was just one of the hardest things we've ever really gone through, especially as a young couple and just looking forward to growing our family. And one of the things we kind of realized from it is just how many bills kept just coming in the mail. And we just really tried to find a way that we could help people that kind of suffer through the same thing. And that's when we found the Fletcher Foundation, and they try to help provide financial resources for families that have suffered through stillbirth or miscarriages, and just do what they can. And they have a bunch of resources set up for the emotional side and even some of the spiritual side afterwards, to kind of, because I mean, other than just paying the bills, there's just so much emotional distress that goes with it. And they're really great people to be around. And it's a smaller foundation, but I really appreciate what they're trying to do, and just trying to help them out any way I can as well. So if anyone out there suffered through a miscarriage, knows someone who did, or even wants to donate, just go check them out.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I'm so sorry. That's crazy.
I appreciate that,
man. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you to all the frontline workers out there. I mean, you're all putting yourselves at risk, your families at risk, just to make sure this country's been running over the last year or so. And I know you all continue to do so, and you're just doing everything you can to keep us doing what we can do. I mean, I'm having fun playing football, but you guys are out there on the front lines every day, making sure that this country stays up and running. So we appreciate you.
Well said. And there it is. That wraps up episode 750 for the NR Hour Sports Show with guest Trent Sieg, Las Vegas Raiders long snapper. Just signed a 3-year contract. Man, thank you again for joining the show. It's truly an honor. Big shout out to our friend Blaine again from the Final Whistle for setting this up, and keep up the great work. We're looking forward to having you back on the show, hopefully before the season starts, so you can meet the full team. But man, this has been an honor, and I'll be posting this on all social media formats, and you and your family stay safe.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a good one.
Yeah, no problem.